Hello and welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm going to take a look at the BX series, which is the rework for the 200BX. The first thing to do is take a look side by side at the old version, the grey one, and the new version, the green one. But at first I can already say that they look basically the same. So if you loved the 200BX, you are happy that the vehicle didn't got changed so much. So this is how it looks on the outside, the new version, and this is the older version. So they're basically the same. There are microscopical changes like the side indicators that on the old version are behind the front wheels and on the newer version are in the front of the front wheels. And we can say that the biggest changes were on the inside. Let's take a look at the old one, for example. This is the old one. And this is the new one. So the central console got changed. All the buttons got a rework, stuff like that. This has electric windows. This has manual windows, but that doesn't change the gameplay. So the base vehicle is almost untouched. And now let's take a look at the configurations, because the vehicle received new body styles like the Diana and the coupe version. Also noting that the Diana and the 200BX, these two, come only in right-hand drive, and the 240BX comes only with left-hand drive. So basically the new 240BX is the old 200BX. Little difference worth noting. So we have the Malodorus, the classic derby configurations based on the 200BX, and then we have all the standard vehicles with increasing performance right here. Then we have the street drift to do some normal drifting, not professional. We have the police configurations for both the Diana and the 240BX. We have the rally configuration based on the 240BX coupe. We have the street tuned and the runner for achieving a high top speed. The track version, which is with a nice paint job. The drag version, very similar to the old one we already had, and the pro drift configuration. We also have the special GTZ Turbo, which is a highly modified version of the Diana, which is a pretty interesting vehicle and remembers a lot of the Skyline. Here we have the configurations, the basic configurations, and from the left, here we have the 240BX, with the only difference is the driving position, the Diana in yellow, the 240-200 version coupe, and the GTZ version. So we can see that the Diana has a completely different front from the 200BX, and it's also different from the GTZ version because this is also a Diana. If we go on the rear, we can see on the right we have the basic 240BX, the Diana with a different rear. The 240-200 coupe version has the rear of the Diana, so the front is the 200BX and the back is the Diana. And then the GTZ version is just a Diana with a different front. Now I want to take a closer look at the Diana, because compared to the 200BX is a completely different vehicle. So let's look around it, because I think it's a pleasant vehicle to look at. Nice lines. That's how it looks. And now open all the latches we can. So let's start from the boot. We have not much space. It's somehow flat. Let's open the door. It doesn't have the border outside the window. And then in the engine bay with this big hood covering it, we have a pretty big engine, a 4-cylinder engine for a base configuration. It's a big one. It's a big one. On the inside is simple as the 200BX we saw earlier, just with the steering wheel on the wrong side. We have the exact same central console, and it doesn't change anything. Even if the base configuration, it's still pretty good. Now it's time for some crash testing. For the crash testing, I want to do a small pileup of vehicles. So I got the 4 configurations that I used to take a look at the body differences, and I want to smash them on that wall at the highest speed I can achieve, so I can damage the front, the rear, and possibly bend the vehicles. So let's start with the first one, and the engine is destroyed. So now this vehicle can't move, so I have to smash it on the wall with the Diana, the base configuration of the Diana. Let's see. Not the best acceleration, but it's still pretty decent. And let's boom, like that. Let's stop. No, stop it. I can still work. Yes, my engine still work, so I can push it against the wall and use the parking brake. And the rear of that car looks incredibly damaged, and the front of the Diana, except for the front wiggling bumper, is still pretty solid. Of course, I didn't hit a wall, but I was going at about 80 kilometers per hour, if I'm correctly, and I don't see any bending of the chassis. While on the 200BX, the chassis is destroyed. Now, we have the 240BX Coupe. It's going to smash the rear of the Diana at almost 90 kilometers per hour. Oof, pretty big impact. The front held up pretty good. I think I see probably a minuscule chassis bending, but the back of the Diana is completely caved. Also a rear window smashed. Pretty bad impact. And now the GTZ version, I took a screenshot somehow. This is also the fastest of them all. And on the back of the coupe, oof, the 200BX got really squished. So, I can reverse. Yes, I can reverse. I don't know what I said. Don't consider it. So, the front of the GTZ is pretty destroyed, but the shape of the car is still in good condition. And now let's start from the beginning. The 240BX is completely smashed. The back it's destroyed, and the front also. The chassis bent a lot. Of course, it got squished by 3 vehicles, understandable. The Diana, can it still drive? No, because the fuel tank is broken. But I don't see drive shaft damage. Probably a little bit. But the shape of the vehicle, even if got rammed from behind, is still pretty solid. Of course, the trunk absorbed all the damage, but it's still pretty decent. The coupe version got some bending in the chassis, actually. The Diana didn't, so that's interesting. Probably because the force of the GTZ impact was stronger. Yeah, probably because it wasn't also very centered. As you can see, it was more on the right, and we have bending of the chassis, and also on the roof on the right side. We have some smashed windows, side windows, and also the back window that didn't broke in the Diana. So I think the Diana is the most solid of this lot. Anyway, for crash testing, I think this is good enough for a result. And then we head to some driving test. For the first test drive, I picked the Diana Type LS, which is the top-end configuration for the Diana. And if you take a quick look at the inside, you can see that the only difference is the trim of the seats and the wooden grain on the central console. These vehicles also have the new mirrors that reflect in real time what's happening. But I'm not really interested in that at this moment, because I want to do a test drive around the city. I want to try to be a respectful citizen, but that H-Series stopped in the middle. What am I supposed to do? So, this vehicle is an everyday car, so I'm not expecting huge acceleration. Oh, the cherry hit the sidewalk. So I have to overtake. Oh, maybe because it's a red light. Okay, let's see. Let's wait. Ah, yeah, no. He's cutting the corner. He's cutting the corner. I stalled. Okay. Let's follow the Charrier. Oh, a little spin. I'm overtaking that slow green vehicle. The brakes are also interesting. Pretty good. Oh, I was starting. That green light almost fooled me. And the cornering is a thing I have to test. So let's continue straight so we can get a little bit more speed to take a corner at about a decent speed. Oh, at high speed it spins the wheels. Let's see this one. Quite understeery, even if it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle, but it's still pretty manageable. So of course you can't go these speeds around the city, so it's understandable that a bit of I didn't touch him. Why are you horning at me? I was using the indicator, but he stopped right there. There was a road closed. Anyway, let's go a little bit faster. Uphill. Let's see the capabilities. Oh, little airtime. Even if it's a pretty steep uphill, it's still gains some speed and maintains the one it reached pretty easily. So, understandable. It's a nice everyday vehicle. What can I say about that? I like it. And I think it's time to do some damage. So let's take some speed, do some jump. And hopefully there is someone to smash into. Yes, the H series. Boom. So we have another... what? I'm not touching the controller. Okay, this roamer is probably drunk. So, let's see. The damage on my vehicle is pretty heavy. Probably still able... No, I'm not still able to drive because the drive shaft is dead. So, I think the Diana Type LS is going to be scrapped. But I think the performance of this vehicle is quite solid, easy to drive. I like it. To test the rally configuration, which is this one that he already spawned, with a decent livery, I'm still in West Coast USA on the dirt track. Let's take a quick look at the inside of the rally configuration. Roll cage, racing seats, no interior, racing dash and steering wheel, and levers for the handbrakes. So, let's go. This probably isn't the best track to test this vehicle, because it has a lot of jumps, and it's not technically the best for a rally vehicle, but it's a dirt track, so I'm going to try it anyway. So, a little bit oversteering. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Here we have the first jump. Not the best landing. The second one was too slow to do. I think I have some damage. Oh, I forgot to brake. Oh, that was pretty easy. Pretty bouncy, actually, on the landing, but let's take this one instead. A little bit too fast, and the nose pointed a little bit too much the ground. Let's see the jump over the track. The smoothest landing so far. This jumpy bit didn't help braking, but I still managed it. A little bit overshooting this one. This was pretty easy. And then we have the last one. Oh, overshot it a little bit. Yeah. Not the ideal car for this vehicle. For this track, sorry. I see a lot of damage on the front left suspensions, because every jump the vehicle pointed right on that corner. Pointed right down on that corner. So, while not the best track for this vehicle did its best. Which is pretty good. To test the racing configuration, I chose the automation test track. This is the Diana racing version. You can see, taking a look at it all around. Nice paint job. And let's go. Okay. Ooh, that acceleration was pretty slow up until the 20-30 kilometers per hour. Huh. Unusual. Let's see how it handles the track. So, I will try my best. I'm not very good at racing. As you can see, I'm spinning a lot already. But the car was still able to handle my bad driving at this point. Okay, let's see now. Don't lock the brakes. Okay, decent. The brakes didn't lock too much. Okay, now we are going to the parabolic corner. Here, not very fast by me, but pretty decent line on the... Why there are... What are those trees? What? This track is haunted by ghost trees. Anyway, top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Not bad. Okay, now there is the tricky corner for me. It's this one. Let's start braking a little bit early, maybe a little bit too much early. But better early than late and smashing the wall. Okay, spinning. Nice, under control. This one as well, I should brake about here. I could have broke. I could have... maybe a little bit late braking was enough. For a moment I mixed some verbs. I got a little brain dead moment. Okay, now don't... I got distracted by my own thoughts. A little bit wheel on the grass, but nothing too much. Okay, this corner is a little bit difficult to judge. A little bit overshot. And now at the last small corner, and we are on the... I lost control at the last corner. Come on. Almost. But I didn't crash, so I'm happy. Don't crash now. Yes, I'm happy. Whew. A little bit of body damage, but understandable probably at the end when I hit the curbs. Anyway, I think the racing version, it's pretty good. It looks neat and it drives better, so approved. To end this video, I want to do a little tumble down the descent map with the V-Special GTZ Turbo, which is the one that resembles the Skyline, at least from the front. Okay, it's already going down, pretty badly damaged. A lot of bending in the chassis, the driver is probably already dead. It's going around, still smashing into the small cubes, and... What is that? Oh, that fender is possessed by... I don't know, by the devil, probably. Anyway, the vehicle came to an end on a little cube at about, maybe just over half the ramp. It's completely destroyed. That's why I like this map. Simple yet destructive. Look at this. Anyway, this was a quick look at the new BX series. Hope you enjoyed the video. This was a video made with a little bit new of a format from me. I'm experimenting. I'm trying to find my ideal video format. So if you have been watching until this point, please leave me a feedback so I can adjust a little bit better my videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.